Alright, let's get amongst it. Let's get to racing, mate. Racing. I can't remember where I'm at with the old tracks of the days. Okay. I can double tap that. Pow pow. Was ist this? Okay, so we did race it, but I didn't race particularly well. I actually think I remember most of the track, just bear with. My phone has decided Twitch tap doesn't work. Okay, my second screen, okay. Please fucking work. There we go, there we go. Working fine. Alright, let's go. Okay, that's not the way to do that. That is. It's quite the speed boost. Oh, it is indeed. Lost a lot there. Gotta be coming out of that wrong. Oh. Okay. That felt really wonk, but apparently not so. That was quick. Very. Oh, that's bad. Not so bad. That felt slow though. Not that. No, no slide, no slide. Rough. For a first lap out, it was pretty good. I understand why I didn't rank item. Coaster. Pace of a mapping stream versus this is over. Mapping streams have got to be dead slow. The amount of testing, because like that, just the start alone, you got to manage the start, you got to manage that connector, you got to manage the bank. Oh look, so that's 2 checks, 3 checks, 4 checks, 5. This is if you only checked each thing once. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mapping streams are slow, man. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Jesus Christ, 19, 20, 21. Holy shit. Oh no, fucked it. Oh, I might still PB, but that was so bad the end one. 69 chicks, I wish. I was watching E-Girl Toaster make ice stuff. Christ, that's even worse. Like, I count about 22 different checks on this map. For like where you'd have to ensure that the lines actually work. That doesn't include all the times you would have to restart to get a decent time. It was on all of the drugs. Fucking A. One of them must have been Adderall for the amount of fucking attention they put to it. I'm losing too much speed there. Without going cross-eyed. I remember when maps like this were my arch fucking nemesis and they'd take me ages to learn. Back in the Land Before Time. Damn it. Ah, got airtime there. A little bit too much on the turn. This is alright though, we've got the speed. Decent landing. It's wide. Whoa, that's bad. That's very bad. Yoink! E-Girl Toaster. Did I read that right? If so, what a fucking name. Yeah, E-Girl Toaster. Ice is even slower, man, because the whole ice map is just a speed check. 4th gear is death. On any bend. Shit. Well, the idol formerly known as Real E-Girl Toaster, I still don't have a clue who that is. Toaster? I hardly even know her. Man, I'm so out of touch with e-celebrities and shit. The last time I was up to date with e-stuff was probably the Syndicate project when that was big. I don't know, probably 10 years ago. Probably around the time of Call of Duty Black Ops 2, whenever that was released. Okay, that was quite quick. Short on the airtime, decent on the turn. Light on the brake. Fast on that. Oh, very fast through there. Oh, quick through there too. Just don't fuck up the end and we got a good PB. And there we go. Oh, just short of a minute. I don't know, when was 1982? Yeah, probably. Turnip Boy, yes, I didn't get all the excess because I have no idea what I'm doing, but yeah, I did like go check round everything once more. Chill music and mapping. It's a good way to be. Especially doing it as a grit. What a way to fucking live. I didn't think I made that. We set too early. Okay, 2 wheels isn't great, but... Ooh. Remember that orange dog? Yeah, I went there. The cat told me something about a bell pepper, but I couldn't find anyone that looked like a bell pepper. That was a bit slow. Not that slow, apparently. That was less air time, but bad bounce for sure. Faster or slower? Ooh, slightly faster. Yeah, it told me I had to find a bell pepper. Well, something about a bell pepper. But I could not find a bell pepper anywhere on the map. Felt like I was going mad. This is way wide. Low on the airtime though. Oh! Super wide. Good start. Too low. How low can you go? Tell me how low can you go? Oh. Damn it. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. It was actually quite, like, the story was kind of interesting. It actually kept me engaged the whole time, which is quite rare for those kind of games. Because, you know, way back in the day when I was younger, I tried all like Harvest Moon and all that, but it just struggled to keep me engaged, man. I had more fun growing the crops than I did trying to figure out the missions. Oh, that would have been quick. I feel like the line here should be higher, no? Ish. Too tight. Man, this, what is it, Graveyard Keeper I want to try. And, oh god, there was another one. Same sort of vein, but I can't remember what it's fucking called. What was it? Graveyard Keeper and... Stardew, that was it, Stardew Valley. I'd like to do both of those at some point. That, and I want to play through Minecraft as well. Death and Taxes. That sounds up my alley as well. Like by Minecraft, I don't mean become like some sort of super fucking creative dude, because I'm not really. But like, I'd like to complete the storyline at least. One of the biggest games of the last 20 years, and may as well make the list of completed, you know what I mean? I'm not getting this line right at all. Oh, that felt fast, but it wasn't. Damn it. Oh, close. Next one, but yourself who makes each person their own set of characters. I have no idea as far as XCOM goes. But I think if it's like what I'm guessing from what you're saying, it's like a turn-based strategy game, that could work. You do it like a kind of like a D&D game in a way. Well, not necessarily D&D, but you know what I mean. It's turn-based, yeah. Like, I'm really surprised there hasn't been a proper like D&D game for the PC, or if there has, I've obviously missed it. Because I feel like with the limits we can take open world stuff to nowadays, you should be able to emulate that sort of thing quite well. Or perhaps it is still too open-ended for a game to manage. Damn it. Pathfinder and Baldur's Gate. Okay, yeah, I don't know those games. Maybe I've just been out of touch with games for that long that I'm actually that far behind. Could be. I did spend a long time in the corporate world. I'll say corporate. Public sector. But you know, same thing. Very detached from the gaming world, at least anyway. I thought that was too low and it was going to kill me, but apparently not. released. It was a bad panic. Shit. That's what you get for selling your soul to the man. You become less of a gamer. Divinity Original Sin, now that rings a bell. Original Sin. Do you know what? That might have been something that I watched Sips play. I assume Sips is still in the streaming game. I'll tell you what, I really... My hairstylist wants to meet up for seafood later. What the fuck kind of life do you live? Hairstylist? You barber, you mean? Like, what the fuck? Good for you, but wow. What a world. That's the difference between me and you, honey. I get my hair styled, you get your hair cut. I love it. Hey, no, I'm not judging. Don't think I'm judging. Don't think I'm judging at all. I think it's great. Like, for real. That's awesome. Oh. Yeah, what a phrase. I love it. That's the difference between me and you, honey. I get my hair styled, you get your hair cut. Fuck it, I want that in the quote. I want that in the quote fucking library. Alright, let's add it. Oh, it's growing. It's growing, the old quote library. But hell yeah. What a line. I mean, to give you the equivalent, right? So I had my hair cut for like the first 2 decades of my life by my mum's friend. Why not? She was good at it, and I certainly couldn't give a shit about the way my hair looks. Hell, I spent like most of my teenage years without any hair. Bald, man. Well, not bald, but you know, shaved to the extreme. Except for that one time I was known as the dog on the rugby team. Because it being England, rugby being played in the autumn and winter. So I had long hair once, well, longish hair. Back when being a grunger was a thing. Don't even know if that translates well into other countries, but yeah. And I was nicknamed the dog. And the crab. Because once I got the ball, you can get it off me. Fun times. This is way too slow. Or not. Shit. Maybe not. Lol. Snuck it away at the end. Here is a huge fashion statement. I'll scare some people off if you don't do it well. Yeah, it's definitely a thing in Western culture, but it was not something I could ever get behind. You know, it's the same with like fucking. Obviously, I wore suits and that's my job, and they were decent suits. But like, I don't know. Fashion was never my forte. If I ever made it uber rich, I'd have to hire someone to do all that for me. Less enjoyable because you're self like a dog. What? Like, I'm with you in the first sentence, but what's the dog got to do with it? Yourself like a dog train. Okay, right, I'm still confused. Please fill me in with the rest of this. Like, I am hugely interested. Like, research into humanity's sexual orientation is fascinating to me. But, for real, what the fuck are you talking about? You train yourself like a dog? Yeah, of course. That's why if you watch hardcore pornography all the time, you kind of can't get off to the regular stuff, you know what I mean? It's why you should always teach young people there's a difference between having sex and making love. Yeah, well, a good way of teaching them that is to give them a tab of acid and tell them to go get laid. Holy shit, that'll fuck your mind up. Not in a bad way. But when the acid hits and you melt into one human being, your brain will do some funny things. Speaking from experience, of course. I wouldn't dare not, you know. Damn it. Yeah, that was a hell of an experience now I think about it. Changed my outlook on sex by a fair margin. I'm kind of glad I did that quite young. I say quite young, I was 20. But ooh, what a time that was. Damn it, too wide. Yeah, man, that was crazy intense. Crazy intense. I advise it. Oh my god, will you feel the other person, not just inside and out physically, but mentally. Wow. Because whether you want to admit it or not, sex is one of the most intimate acts human beings can do with each other, whether it's physical or not. And pornographic material and the consumption of it tries to reduce it to something that it isn't. Casual sex is one thing, quick fuck's another. Making love is a different kettle of fish. Different kettle of fish. I'd love to be able to see the neurochemical changes in a person's brain while doing all three different acts. Because I guarantee you they activate all different regions. I can swear to God they do. This is a fucking sick run. Lost point 4 in the end, what the fuck? Never mind. Hey, we're under a minute. Lol. That's like, man. Even kink is such a spectrum. And again, I can guarantee you there are people that are into some hardcore kinks that sometimes just want to do the classic old slow rom-com movie love. You know what I mean? There is such a huge difference between all of them. Fireplay, I don't actually think I've witnessed anyone use it in a sexual way, but I can imagine the uses from candle wax onwards. Actually, if you had some very fast burning, like ethanol or something, that would be quite something, because it would only sting for a fraction of a second before it went out. Especially if you're a pyro, that's got to be top tier for you. Obviously not if you're an arsonist, because that's slightly different. That's buildings. That's buildings you enjoy watching burn, not a little bit of fire on people. And trust me, most people are not into watching people burn. It's a lot darker than most people imagine. I do wonder, right, on a statistical scale, how many people can say, as an average, they make love to their partner, they don't have sex? It'd be an interesting study. And again, as I was talking earlier about the neurochemical changes, if you could measure it, wowee. It's all about knowing if people are in love or not. Physical proof. This is way too slow. Man, to knock off another 1.8 seconds, what the fuck? Do you know, right? It gets into something a bit personal, right? So, being the kind of man that I am, I'm always the more, shall we say, dominant partner in the relationship. And I've always wondered what it feels like being taken for a ride, as it were. Yeah, ethanol, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'd make sure I was completely clean shaven, because, you know, hair burns. Like proper burns. Pubic hair is good for kindling. And I've completely forgotten what I was about to say, but it was interesting. Oh yeah, because I'm normally the dominant partner, right? I've always wondered what it'd be like to be taken for a ride, as it were. Because I'm usually doing the driving, makes sense. Electroplate, yeah, you could do it. You could do it with I mean, you'd have to dial the kits down a little bit, but you could definitely get the shock kits from games. Just put an extra transistor on. Oh lol, I wasn't talking about Peggy. It's funny that your mind went straight to that, but no, that's not what I was talking about. I mean, like, to be the one that gets tied to the fucking, what are they called? The bits of the bed, the posters, the railings, the fucking banisters, whatever they're called. Get blindfolded, get tied, and just get taken for a ride, you know what I mean? Always thought that'd be interesting. But alas, never found anyone that was, oh, never found a woman that was inclined that way. Too much airtime. Oh, that sounds like fun also, but that's baby Ryu King stuff. Take a look. You want me to go from being a dom to a sub in 30 seconds? Give me a break. I've got to work there. You know what I mean? Hold on. I saw I want to learn, and that's guaranteed to going to be an interesting word after it, or phrase anyway. Sentence. Shibari. Is that the rope stuff? Now that would be interesting. I don't have that level of restraint and patience personally, but definitely an interesting skill. I can see why people get into it, you know? Okay, we're kind of matching for speed. No, we're not. We're way quicker. Are we quicker? Yes, we are. No, come on. You'd probably find like video classes off like Pirate Bay, I'd reckon. Lol. Yeah, true. Ooh, aerobic asphyxiation, baby. Now again, that's another funny one, right? So, women being like, yeah, choke me is quite a well-known one. Right? in my experiments in life, I've asked women to choke me, but the problem is, they're too weak. They just don't have the strength. I'm a big believer, how do you know if you don't try, you know what I mean? Which does mean I've had to go to the gym, find a girl, and be like, if you can choke me hard enough, I'll pay you. Yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't get charged with sexual harassment or nothing. I'm sure it'll go smoothly. Either that or you hit the jackpot. You know what I mean? That's one of those things that's a big risk, but what a payoff. Help someone find a sugar daddy because that's what she wanted. I DM'd the wrong person later being like, hi, I found a site for that. Lol. In a not so creepy way. Well, I've thought about that because, as you know, I'm not filthy rich, but I'm comfortable. Right? But in typical me fashion, I was like, fuck that. Like, thought crossed my mind, I was like, that could be fun. And I realised, no. Right, I've never paid for sex. I'll talk about that another time. I've never paid for sex. And I'm not going to start now. I would legit pay for some company, you know. I understand that. Not that most people use those services for those sorts of things, but I do understand that. We are all human. Sometimes having some company that will not judge you is what we need. I was actually reading a study that around like 22% of all men that visit prostitutes do so as a form of therapy, which is wild. Like a therapist would be cheaper, man. I think having to care for someone's most basic needs is incredible, but you're not getting Louis Vuittons. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can stand that. Like I wouldn't even be after sex for that. If you want your basic needs covered and you want to spend some time with me, I'm sure we can work something out. It may not be a job, but it can definitely be beneficial to the pair of us. Like yeah, when I read about that whole percentage rate of men that have like cried to prostitutes, men that have divulged personal information because they've got no one else to talk to about it to prostitutes and stuff, and I was just like, wow, man. That's such a sad thing to hear. But I think about that a lot about my gender specifically, the suicide rates, and it's very sad, man. It's very sad. But I think that's a generational thing that hopefully is going to start to reduce. Because I think the generation that I was raised upon, where boys don't cry, you know, we don't bitch about things, we just get on with the job, blah blah blah. I think that's disappearing, which I'm glad about. Did you know game styles get paid more? Yeah. I know some odd facts about porn, man. Some very odd facts. Bad line. I can understand it. Like I said, there's a limit for everyone. We all have a price that we would sell our soul for. And not just our soul, our arsehole. Like truly, like I said to you before about the whole blowjob thing, I tell you what, I'll put 150 grand Canada bucks in front of you. You're going to let me do what I like. You know what I mean? And even if not you personally, I could find someone hard up for cash in Canada. 150 grand Canada bucks is a lot. Yeah, but this is what I mean. It's what people don't admit to themselves. The amount of money that it takes to change your life is actually not a lot. And that's depressing. But again, you're talking to the guy who sees no difference between prostitution and coal mining, so you know. Little high, little low, little hey, little ho. Man, I remember watching a documentary on this woman that was addicted to crack. And that she was having sex with guys for like $100. That's just so dark. Yeah, yeah. Enjoy. Have a good night. Yet another thrilling conversation about sexual stuff. Oh, come on, controller. Stop pissing about. Go. Back to it. That little pause was brought to you by controller malfunctions. Fucking people up since what, Atari. No, I'd love to get my hands on a Commodore 64. Got the speed, just not the line there. Was that enough? Yes, it was. Is it the speed? It may be. Nah, too wide. God damn. Wee. What's the time? It's still got an hour and 20 before cut of the day, and I've already beat the aim for today. Might as well see if we can top it. Ooh, what you got for me there? On me phone now.
Can we all take a sec and talk about how weird the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town is? That song is, like, low-key terrifying. You know that nowhere in that song is there any mention of gift-giving or joy or merriment? There is nothing to imply that Santa Claus's arrival into the town is good news. You better watch out.
True.
You better not cry.
True.
What am I watching out for? What would make me cry? You know how, like, there are common children's things that have, like, horrific origins? Like, Bring Around the Rosie is about the Black Plague, and, like, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo is about, like, catching runaway slaves. Santa Claus is Coming to Town sounds like an old Russian folklore. It flies through the night on his impossible sleigh, werewolves in his coat and his bloody shit. Watch out, children. Dry your tears. Do not show fear. Santa has come away with fresh presents.
Yeah, true. True. Man, there is some real weird old folklore out there from countries across the world, man. There's like the statue in I want to say it's like Denmark that no one remembers the origin story of a like demon thing eating babies. Man, there's some weird shit out there. I think it's Denmark. It seems like the kind of place it would be. But like, man, there's joking things like, well, not even joking, right? So it's a joke. I used to get told like, "Oh, don't stay out late. Fucking Sweeney Todd will get you." And like that stuck with me because I knew Sweeney Todd was a mass murderer. Like, I was told that when I was younger. You don't stay out late. Sweeney Todd will get you. What the fuck? Ooh, we fast. Ah, we're on a bad line though. Oh. That's wide. Oh, it's good though. Shit. Weeping Angels, man. That's an easy one. Video cameras. As long as you've got video cameras around you, you're sorted. Don't get me wrong, the concept's creepy as fuck. If you're unprepared, yeah, that's just death. But like, yeah, video cameras will do the job though if you're prepared. Man, I really like the reboot of Doctor Who. So good. So good. Yeah, I know not death, but you know what I mean. It's game over. Insert a new coin to continue. And how fucked would that be if that was what happened when you died? Turns out to be a game of Roy, a life well lived. That's the weird thing, right? Well, do you know the fine-tuned principle? Well, I say principle, but it's the fine-tuned reality of existence. Like all the constants of reality that allow for everything to exist from matter to gravity, it's all very fine-tuned. Like, if it's off by like 0.01%, the universe can't exist. Everything is so very fine-tuned to allow it to exist. Now this is a problem, right? Because you would expect to find that in something that was created, everything to be just so. But there is no reason for these things to be the numbers they are, they just are. Which raises all sorts of questions. Are we one of many universes where the numbers vary from universe to universe? If so, we got stupidly lucky to be in this one. But then again, if life can't arise in others, we're not stupidly lucky. We're a certainty to eventually exist. Which is an even more worrying thought. If we're a certainty, and universes are endless by the nature of the fine-tuning principle, because for every one that is correct, there has to be billions of others that are wrong. We're either not the first, or we're not here by accident. Either way, it's a very interesting thought. Fine-tuning mystery of the universe. That was way too much airtime, and that's way too low there. Damn. But like, what was I reading that about? It might have been about like the Higgs boson and stuff. So the Higgs boson, or the Higgs field, is what gives particles their mass. And if that was just slightly off, matter could not exist. The universe could not exist. The fine-tuning mystery is why is the Higgs boson the value it is, or the Higgs field, however you wish to say it. It's way too high. I find it fascinating, because if we presume the multiverse theory is true, right? And there's all of the yous and all of the me's out there, living billions upon trillions of different lives, varying by a small degree or a massive degree. Every possibility there is can be and will be. Which means somewhere out there in one of the multiverses there is me swimming in a pool made of gold filled with melted chocolate. Why I'd be doing this I don't really know, it sounds like fun. Vice versa, there's another universe where I'm literally Hitler. But also another one that leads on to this is quantum suicide. The concept that you can't actually die. Every time you come close to death, your consciousness just literally jumps universes into the one where you're not. Which is fascinating. There have actually been some proponents of this. Very intelligent proponents for quantum suicide. I wish I could remember his name, but he believed in it so deeply. He died at the age of like 52 from a heart attack because he drank whiskey and smoked cigars and ate meat every day of his life. Anyway, quantum suicide, let's explain it a little bit better, shall we? So if all the multiverses are true, quantum suicide kind of gives the concept that while in this universe and every other universe at the same time, me and all my multiverse selves got a gun to our heads. Right, we've spun the chamber, we don't know which chamber the bullet's in, we don't know if when we pull the trigger we're going to be dead or not. Turns out it doesn't matter, because the moment we pull the trigger here, the trigger's pulled everywhere else. If the trigger gets pulled here is, successful, i.e. the bullet goes off, it doesn't matter, instantly our consciousness will be teleported to the universe where the bullet did not go off. That doesn't mean that the universe there didn't have a consciousness, it just means that your consciousness wasn't in it. But again, that's on the proviso that consciousness is a singular event, which is a fascinating concept in itself. Speaking of consciousness and shit like that, I was watching this wonderful psychological study where they were basically testing whether humanity's consciousness can be expanded. And by that term, I don't mean share consciousness with people, not like that at all. But more of our consciousness, how we function, i.e. we move our hands without the express thought of, oh, move my hand. We do functions without the express thought of doing so. Can you expand that? Can you add, let's say, an extra arm? So there's a psychological study that's ongoing that appears to confirm you can just add things to the consciousness and it will pick them up and use them. They did this by using basically a helmet that reads brainwaves, and you teach it first of all such as you think repeatedly, move my little finger on the robotic hand. Eventually it picks up the pattern in brainwaves that's say to do this, and the more you do it, the quicker the machine learns to do it, until you get to the point where you don't have to explicitly think, move my little finger, grab that object. You just treat it like a normal hand, and it will function as so. Now, isn't that fascinating? You could basically get a suit, you get used to using it, and boom, you've got 4 arms. How fascinating. And your brain just plays along with it as if it's perfectly normal. Literally hacking the brain. Abusing its own systems. Now, you might not think this has much real life use, but it actually does. Just think of every time you've ever said, "Oh, I wish I had another pair of arms." My friend, that's not impossible. Currently stupidly expensive, but not impossible. This part of humanity is very interesting because it's all leading up to that science fiction future we were all sold when we were younger. All the pieces are falling into place, it's just taking a long time to get there. The real question though about the whole extending consciousness is how far can you push it, and at what point does your consciousness become, what would you say? Not separate, but what point can you separate your consciousness from your body if you keep pushing it? Could you, in theory, extend your brain into a computerized one and then slowly but surely disconnect your living one? Does the consciousness continue across? If so, it's a route into immortality. Obviously I'm going a bit far with the assumptions here, but that's the long-term consequences of that study. If consciousness can be pushed across an electronic device, in terms of using the external robotic arm as a standard hand, how far can it go? That's a bad bounce. Lost a bit of speed to that. I'm not sure if we're quick enough here. We're kind of matching. A little bit wide, but quick. Too much. Yeah, too much. Damn it. But we are definitely at such a critical juncture in humanity's existence. Whether you want to talk about space exploration, whether you want to talk about lack of resources, competition, we are at such a critical juncture because we just about have the tools to answer every issue, from food production, water production, fossil fuel consumption. We just about have answers for everything, but we don't have one concrete layout for deploying all of these. For example, resource consumption. There are 5 companies in the UK that have licenses to mine asteroids. At least that was as of 2019. It's been a few years since I checked that. The want is there, the economic drive is there. We are able to land unmanned probes on asteroids at will. How long do you reckon it will take before we learn how to bugger? Hold him fast. How long do you reckon it will take before we learn how to push an asteroid into orbit well enough? Not much longer. To give you an idea of why asteroid mining is the future, the average asteroid is worth more than the entire globe's gross domestic product over the course of 5 years. We're talking quadrillions. So you have millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions of dollars worth of material. Give you an idea into the value of the average asteroid. Oh, we came out of there quick. I fucked that up. Ah, damn it. So yeah, asteroid mining. Like, there is more platinum on one asteroid than there is in the entire planet. The really rare metals that we need to produce electronics on a mass scale, they're in asteroids by the ton. Imagine when the resources for your smartphone cost less than a penny. You want to talk of the current GPU shortage, there wouldn't ever be a shortage again. Well, no, there wouldn't be, because by the time we've mined one asteroid, someone will already be setting up the second, and the third wouldn't be far behind. The universe itself is so abundant with the materials we need. We just have to reach out and grab them. Easier said than done, obviously, but it's more than possible. I reckon I can get down to a low 59 right now. Shit. Such fantastic steps we are on as humanity. So close yet so far. We are one major breakthrough from star exploration becoming possible. You may think that's a joke, it's not. You don't need to travel at the speed of light, you just have to travel at a reasonable fraction. Nearest star 5 light years. Travelling at 10% of the speed of light might take 50 years, but we're there in a lifetime. We've spent a lifetime travelling before, we'll do it again. With 3D printing and technology, well, okay, so with 3D printing and quantum computing technology reaching the peaks it is, and with the apparent no speed limit to, I say no speed limit, there is obviously the limits of time itself, but with no apparent speed limit to quantum information transfer in entangled particles, which is a lot of a mouthful, but just imagine it as two particles that like to be the exact opposite to each other no matter how far away apart they are. Any advances we made on, say, the engine here, we could send, literally. Yeah, nice. Send literally across space to the rocket that's travelling at 10% the speed of light. Even if you boost it by another couple of percent, you're cutting months, weeks, days off the travel time to the nearest star. Honest to God, I think within the next 2 decades, if we don't self-combust as a species, we are going to do some incredible things. And I'm just They're trying to do it with human cells, with body parts, literally. Cambridge University are doing it, trying to attempt to do it for hearts and stuff, to literally 3D print required, you know, piece of defective, holy Christ, organ. That's the word I'm looking for. So if your heart was to go kaput one day, they could just print you out a new one, pop it in, job done. Like we're living during this, while it's being made, while it's being perfected. And like, regardless how about feel about Elon Musk's business practices, what he has done for the space race is incredible. Reducing the cost per ton of getting things into space is such an advancement in human capabilities, it's incredible. Right, do you know, I'll do a bit of quick back of the envelope maths and check into this. Because I want to say he's decreased it by a factor of 2 orders of magnitude, but I would need to check. Okay, so the Falcon 9 has reached. Okay, so not quite 2 factors. Well, nearly 1 factor, but even that is incredible. So, as for the Falcon 9, which is one of the more recent ones, the cost per kilo is down to $2,500. Right, from between 1970 and 2000, the cost of launching a kilo to space, which remained basically consistent during this time, was $18,500. That's in like what, 4, 6, 7, just under just short of an 8-time reduction in cost. That's incredible. So, just working that out. So, we call it a 7.5 reduction. Right, so the original cost of the ISS was 150 billion. Most of that is going to be in the cost of shipping to space. So we're talking 150 divided by 7.5, from 150 billion to 20 billion to build the International Space Station. It has removed it from something that countries had to build together to something that Elon Musk himself could build in space and still have plenty of money left over. And he is obviously well aware of this. When you live the space race, you definitely know these things. And if I can figure it out from a quick Google search, holy hell, he's well aware. Do you know what? Let's check it. Cost per kilo to 2 miles. Delete. 2.78 million per kilogram. That was for the Curiosity rover. Ooh. Oh, from low Earth orbit. No, that's not what we're looking for. So yeah, 2.78 million per kilo. Now, if Musk can do the same with that, dropping it by 7.5 times, that would drop the cost to 370 grand per kilo. Which, let's go even further. What is the weight of the ISS? 925,000 pounds. That's terrible. 125,000 pounds to kilos. So 420,000 kilos. So 370,000. 370,123 multiplied by 420,123. Oops, I did divide, not multiply. Let's throw the commas in manually. So millions, only 155 billion. So Elon Musk does have the financial capabilities, given the reduction from what he's already done, factoring that into a Mars base the same way as the ISS. He could afford it. It'd be expensive, but he could afford it. And again, if I can do the back of the envelope calculations, I'm sure he can. It's well within range. If I was old Musky boy, I would have a team working on building a 420,000 kilo Mars base that could support support a team of at least 5 for 4 years or 2 years. 2 years, I suppose, would be best. To be fair, if I was NASA, I'd be dangling that in front of SpaceX as the goal. Although Mars exploration is going to be horrible for the first, like, 20 generations, if not more. Not just because it's Mars and it's an inhospitable shithole, but because there are so many more problems than just, landing on a shithole and living on it. Because, if we can build Antarctic bases, we can build bases fit for almost any temperature. The issue is the radiation. This is going to be tight if I can get it good though. Oh, come on! So close to the species. Terraforming is not as easy as you would think. On Mars, yeah. On Mars, the issue with terraforming is the lack of atmosphere. It's got no clubs. Hey, no, okay. But the atmosphere is too thin. Even if you were to pump billions of tons of carbon dioxide into it, it wouldn't make it thick enough to support any form of life or even prevent enough radiation. It's such a bitch. Like, the first people on Mars will have to live underground. They will be literal mole men. The mole men of Mars. Love it. That's what they should be called. It's like, you'd be better off transporting bloody millions of tons of shit off of Jupiter and just flooding the atmosphere with it. But again, that's a real lot of effort as well to build an atmosphere. Like, you'd think it'd be easy, plant a bunch of trees and just pump out the crap into the atmosphere for whatever you got left, and they would grow, but no. The radiation would kill them. Then again, maybe you could breed a type of fungus to get it kick-started. You'd want a lot of carbon dioxide, and I mean a fucking lot of carbon dioxide. But then again, it would mean all mining operations can pollute as much as they fucking like on Mars. Because it'd help with the terraforming eventually. Too wide. But there are much smarter people than me looking into this. They'll find ways to work around it, ways to use our own destruction of the planet to our benefit, I'm sure. To be fair, the only life that could survive on Mars would be deep under the surface. And we even have fungus that eats radiation here on Earth, so that's not a huge stretch. Ah, tried to fucking really cheat. Well, not cheat that. Try to really cut that low. I was hoping that would give me the advantage, but no. But it's possible. It's there. It's there. We just have to reach out and grab it. Just under 1 order of magnitude reduction of cost in space launches. That's incredible to do within a decade, considering NASA didn't touch it in 3. Like I said, regardless how I feel about old Muskie's business principles, there's a lot to be said for what he's done.
One of my best friends is a Catholic guy, and I give him a ton of shit about the pedophilia and the priesthood. And he gets so angry. The other day he said to me, he goes, "Teachers fuck kids too." And I was like, I like that angle right there. That's good. But because I understand what he's saying, it's not a problem exclusive to the church, but he is making it sound like everyone does it too. Why don't you just back off? And I've seen pictures of some of these teachers. It is a different degree of molestation. We're talking top shelf versus bottom shelf. No? I'm losing you? I've jerked off the teacher porn. I've never typed in hot horny cardinals. Oh yeah. Thank God for Hawaiian shirt guy. Or I would have been in trouble. That dude really carried that joke. Some of you guys are like, we're not so sure. He's like, I'm all in on this one. I too have jerked off to teacher porn. One of my best friends is a
Trudeau.
guy.
Just like your Premier, President, Prime Minister is Trudeau. Oh, Merkel's out. Merkel's been out now. Fucking Iron Lady Merkel. Merkel the Mad Tyrant. I know it's a bit of a jump talking about Canadian leadership to German leadership, but Merkel's been around for a long time. She's beginning to look like Putin as a dictator. Sorry, President for Life, Putin. I do believe that's his current title. Saw a little bit of panic in the Russian, speaking of things that are happening on a global scale, a little bit of panic in Russia. They withdrew 10,000 troops from the Ukrainian border after everyone got fucking up and shit about them being there. Which is a very good sign for Ukraine, very good sign for the Western power bloc. It means that we still hold enough cards to keep Russia under control, while Putin's in power anyway. I'm kind of scared and amazed to see who comes after Putin. Look, people prefer the arsehole they know to the arsehole they don't. That's politics 101. Me and this PB are going fucking toe to toe. Holy shit. Oh no, what happened? Yeah, but that's the swing in politics, baby. Every country that has had its run of shit leaders is now beginning to swing for the fences. America was the first domino, right? So look back at the previous presidents, right, of the United States. Name the good ones. Name the ones that actually improved life. Nope, not for a long time. We've been coasting for a long, long time. And truly the issue, Lincoln. Look, do you know what? I had a great conversation with an American about Obama, right? Because they were like, oh, Obama was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you do realise on average, in the course of a year, he authorised around 5,000 drone strikes. And they're like, no, that's not true. I'm like, I can show you proof. They're like, no, that's obviously lies. If you say so. So I showed them proof and they told me it was all lies, and I said, okay. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night. Oh, Obama wasn't great, but he wasn't that bad. It's just one of those things. I can see it across the world stage, right? Every country has had a leader that's been more obsessed with maintaining the status quo than anything else. It's been a global trend. That's why across Europe, very, very unusual leaders are starting to come into power. Italy, far right. They haven't been far right since Mussolini. Well, I say far right. The last guy they had was pretty right. You know, paid off the media, Obama. Every president, leader of every country is guilty of paying off the media in one way or another. If not with cash, with clout, with one form of bribery or another. What's going on with this controller? No, it's true, it's true. Everyone likes to act like no one makes backroom deals, but the entire government runs on backroom deals. Whoa, what the fuck is going on? Why is it doing that? And it's stopped. And the car kind of floats. Weird. Trump couldn't buy his way out of the problem. And that's the Trump playbook 101. Buy it. But you can't buy the media anymore in terms of just straight up cash payments. It's not how the game works. And in the very old saying, the king need never declare himself such. Trump is the equivalent of a panic flare. Countries are not panicking, but the people are very, very upset globally. Everyone knows or feels in their hearts that something more can be done. The global taste for war is declining rapidly. And if you misunderstand what I mean, our systems are so interlocked between countries that war is devastating for all of us, whether we participate or not. Russia goes to war, Europe loses a large natural gas pipeline. Russia goes to war, America has to withdraw its troops from eastern bases such as Korea, around China, etc., etc., giving China free rein, which is not what America wants, because then that compromises its trade deals with China, because then America has to cut ties with China should they push borders on any of America's allies. Europe loses another significant trade partner if China does so. The whole world is hanging on a very delicate balance currently. But that delicate balance we have is crucial. Absolutely crucial. Okay, we got speed. Bad line though, yeah, very bad. Too late. It's interesting times. As the Agathian Empire used to say, may you live in interesting times. Ah, no, damn it. First sci-fi, now politics, friggin' nerds. Man, it wasn't sci-fi, it's sci-reality. And I was talking from economics to politics to war. I love how the UK media refers to your new guy as Merkel Light. Oh, come on, this was quick. Nah, we clipped. A little bit oversteered there. Feels a little bit low, but it's okay. I guarantee you in like 50 years, well, hold on. I fucking would. And no, I was not Lord Buckethead. Unfortunately. We actually have a few people who run for office, I suppose is the word, that are unique. Lord Buckethead is one. And that position was passed down from father to son, interestingly enough. That's how long it's been running. Not that anyone's actually sure who he is, but I'm sure if you were a researcher, you could probably figure it out pretty easily. But last I checked, no one was sure who Lord Buckethead was. Damn, I can't get that line right. He's Lord Buckethead. Yes. Before you say there can't be that many Lord Bucketheads, listen, you don't have to be a lord to be allowed to call yourself a lord, you know? This isn't medieval times. What do you need? Nothing. What more do you need than Lord Buckethead? I mean, lots. I'm trying to remember the other guy who was like, who wanted, what was it called? What was he called? Yeah, Elmo, Lord Buckethead. Oh, there's some other ones, wasn't there? I wish I could remember his name. The Looney Pie, that was it. The Monster Raving Looney Pie. Elmo got 3 votes. That's hilarious. Mr. Fishfinger, 309 votes. Lord Buckethead dabs on stage. Holy shit. Similar to doctorates, at least over here, professors. Yeah, no. So you can call yourself a lord, but you are not officially a lord. There's official to unofficial. Called doctorates, PhD, and doctors, meds. And only doctor meds may call themselves doctors. No. If you have a doctorate, you are a doctor of. And if you're a doctor, you're a doctor of medicine. It's the way it works. The doctor of, regardless what your study is within. Calling them a doctor is just shorthand, because they're the most common doctorate or person of that education you're likely to run into. And I believe it comes from back in the day when doctoring was in its infancy. I say doctoring, but I mean like modern medicine. And you could actually do a lot of groundbreaking study just by paying attention, you know? I believe it was around the same era of you've got ghosts in your blood, please do cocaine. Yeah. There is no distinction really. Again, I just assume medical doctors, it comes from the old days where every medical doctor was probably a doctorate of medicine. I say the old days, I mean about 100 years ago. Back when I was a wee lad. Before the Kaiser stole my word for 20. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine getting a PhD in just quote unquote overall engineering. Good luck. Okay, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Did I clip? Ah, I clipped. What's this? What's this? What's this? There's something in the air. Excuse me. That got weird quick. Of course, it's a specific kind of engineering, but why call it philosophical doctor? No, again, a doctor means a person who holds it. Well, originally meant a person who holds a doctorate. It did not mean a medical doctor. I am a doctor of X. I hold a doctorate of X. I am the doctor of fucking alien studies. I don't know. PhD, doctorate in philosophy. What? No. You can have a doctorate in philosophy. PhD does not stand for doctorate in philosophy. What? Okay, that's definitely I've just looked at it, but looking at the Latin original, I don't think it means what it currently means. Philosophia. So Philosophiae, which is the Latin origin, means the study of nature, causes and principles of reality, yada yada. The original Latin does not mean philosophy in the way we mean philosophy in the modern world. Like, because when I read that, because I checked it, that I honestly, a doctorate of philosophy, I couldn't believe it myself. So looking into the Latin origin, it's a study of nature, causes, or principles of reality, knowledge or values based on logical reasoning, which is why Isaac Newton's book, the philosophy of the principle of natural philosophies of mathematics, or something like that. Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, I think. So it's directly it translates into Doctor of Philosophy, but it does not mean philosophy in terms of to be or not to be. It doesn't mean philosophy in terms of keep your body language together. I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. I can't help it that we stole from every other language on the planet and just went, yeah, stick it together, it'd be alright. I wonder what German words we stole. Panzer. Nah. Volkswagen. Even though it's Volkswagen. Yeah, doppelganger, we don't use kindergarten, we're not stupid. And isn't kindergarten children's garden? If I'm not wrong. But a garden of children. A place in which to grow them. I like the weird logic personally. Overdid it again. No, we don't use kindergarten. We definitely use doppelganger. We'll read that in just a second. Never mind, I fucked the lab. We have kindergarten, I assume children's garden. Yeah, children's garden to raise children. We also have Baumschule, tree school to raise trees. Interesting. Honest to God, my first thought after that was of a very old joke. I mean, you may not be a farmer, but you sure know how to raise a cock. I was about to ask, what do you call it where you grow cocks? Cock garden? Well, no, it's a chicken, so I'm sure you've got some sort of name for male chicken versus female. So it'd be like rooster garden or something like that. Something would. In Hungarian I would say Valami Magyarság. Something Hungarian. It's a great phrase to know when you don't know what someone said. Damn it. I should really finish off learning one fucking language, I'll tell you that for free. I probably know pieces to I think about 10 different languages. Not one fucking fluently. Finally learning English. Look, fuck you, first of all. And second of all, how dare you say something so true and something so personal? Ah, too wide. Yep. Saved it though. Never felt so personally attacked in my entire life. Oh, come on. No way. No way. Oh, the usual stuff, man. I'm of that age where it's, you know, smelly stuff, t-shirts, and that's about it. Which is fine by me. Oh, and a pair of trainers. Socks are good, man. The older you get, the more you appreciate them. Which is why I think older people give you socks. Because they know the value of a good pair of socks. It's like, I tell you what, after doing years on my feet in shoes in hotels and pubs and stuff, the value of a good pair of shoes is unparalleled as well. Yes, people buy me socks. I always get good socks. A pair of trainers, the second one, exactly. If I killed the first one with an accident, obviously an accident, I wouldn't ever do it on purpose, God no. I tell you, a good pair of shoes. Two things you should have in life: a good bed and a good pair of shoes. Like, I underwear is important. Underwear is a secondary, but yes. It is. Bad boots is what keeps the poor poor. Sam Vine's boot economics. It's true though. Honest to God, when I was working for the government, right, I decided one month that I would go and buy a proper pair of like expensive work shoes. Right, I spent 150 quid. They are without a doubt the best shoes I've ever worn, and they still work absolutely perfect. Like, it's been like 5 years now and they're still in mint condition. They're so comfortable that I would wear them daily now, even if I had to, even if I didn't have to. They're perfect. Now we're getting into personal taste, right? Because I don't like super soft stuff. Like, my bedding is near enough fucking what's that crap lumberjacks wear? What is it called? Those t-shirts. Flannel. Yeah, they're basically flannel, except for not as soft as flannel. Man, I really don't like soft stuff. I like sleeping on the floor. There's one. People find that weird. Man, after like a couple of weeks in a bed, man, there's nothing that beats getting real nice and comfy down on the floor and just napping. Just napping away. Oh, a good floor sleep, man. Oh shit, I should really get him for cup of the day. That tends to be when it's time to wash it, once your underwear gets stiff. I mean, you should wash it before then, but you know, if it's stiff, it's definitely a good sign to wash it. Oh, I need to. Man, some people take some real odd lines. Too much. Corrected. Smooth. Not smooth. Oh, no, it was smooth. Incredible. Great line. Slow. We're not going to make it. Pretty good lap though. Did I just take first? Yeah. Wow. Spandex. No, I quite like mine to be pretty loose, pretty elastic. I like to be able to have room to move as far as underwear goes. Too wide, too wide. Nope, saved it. Nice and smooth. Not super smooth. Too wide. It's got to move with you or not be there at all. I've got nothing wrong with a bit of commando in my life, that's quite comfy. Oh look, we got an advertiser. Banning. Forget the loose crap. It's just... Yeah, none of mine is super tight. It's all pretty loose, pretty comfortable, relaxing. Someone want to go spy on this dude? What is he like? Hang on. Hang on. He's South African. And he's not put down a time as of yet. Yeah, do it. Start a rivalry, man. Let's fucking do it. There's twice as many viewers as you are. He's a big lad. He's well famous. Let's go poach his viewers. No, I'm not that fucking low. Yeah, I can do maths. Oh, I'm not worried. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. But he's advertising to the wrong people, man. These guys are playing in Cup of the Day. They're not watching Cup of the Day. Wrong group. Damn it. That was fast. I'm sure he has a great personality. Not much of a looker though. No, I kid. She has great big tracts of land. Okay, we're fast, but we are quite behind. Okay. That extra tap was probably unwise. It's quick land though. Nah, no way of catching. Although we did catch by a bit. You can't watch on you can't do that. Oddly enough. You can't spectate a server. It's really kind of odd. You have to be in server to spectate it. You can. How? Yeah, but you're watching the stream. Oh, you mean he's advertising to other people streaming? Smart. In a way, yeah, smart. That's kind of bottom of the barrel you're poaching there, man. You'd be better off doing something a bit more tactical. That ain't the way to grow, son. The way to grow is to find a bunch of weirdos as weird as you and keep them involved. Even with that weird... Fuck. Damn it, we had a good chance. Oh, watch right now, got his advertisement. Oi. Who are you calling bottom of the barrel? Me. I'm not calling you bottom of the barrel, you're somewhere near the top, Mr. fucking PhD over here. Fucking come in to chat with our slowly plebeians. No, get caught masturbating on stream and grow when everybody hears about it. True though. I don't think I've been caught masturbating on stream though, have I? Nah, surely not. Hang on, I've got an idea. Not yet. 2 more days to get my little cousin. Well, what about masturbating, mate? What? Oh, no, for a PhD. Right. Fucking hell. I was really concerned then. Fucking little cousins and masturbating. I was getting real concerned. No, PhD. Yeah, I got you. Oh, this is the fight. Mamma mia. Make it. Nah. Also, obviously fake. You're too good of a wanker to be that loud. 1, I fucking love that. 2, I fucking love it. No, I'm a bit like Marmite. My appeal is niche. If you want to chat weird shit, I'm your man. Fucking love Marmite though. Fuck Vegemite and fuck any Australian that claims Vegemite is good. It's basically salt in paste form. It's horrid. Fuck. And I'm more like salt in verbal form. Oh, this is wide, but in. Bit low. Apparently that's not too bad though. We're in, we're in. Bit much on the airtime. Quick. Oh, very fast. Nah, you fucking shit. I keep screwing up that end. How long we got? 1 minute. I can't do a lap in that time. What weird message am I sticking in the chat? I like black tomcats. Hey, the dude's streaming. I called you out across the stream. Yeah, I know you get funny when I say you're my friend. How dare you? How dare you call me a friend? How very dare you? It's a little too personal, you know? Oh my. This is some full speed strangeness. Boosts on the dirt. Is that a restart point then? Loads of boosts on dirt. Dirt transfers. Shreddemite. Speaking of Vegemite. I only have the one, I promise you. And I keep him locked up in my basement. Fuck is this lap going? Oh. Whoa. I'm amazed I haven't fucked up yet. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay. Oh, look, the finish is there. I was that close. Wait, there's a second finish, isn't there? Is that meant to be the safe one or the fast one, do you reckon? Whoa! That was a bad line, apparently. Okay, what? Why is it starting me flat? Ooh, that's not cool. What the fuck? How did that give me airtime? Ah, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I don't know what's quicker. Oh, the fuck, man. That time, no airtime. Okay, I'm a little bit confused on that one. Okay, you hit about here, and you go straight. When you come over, you jump, go straight, right, left, stay left, and then, wow, that's a real awkward line. Dip here, but stay straight. Hey, look. Sometimes it's easy to stay straight, other times, oh, it's hard. Damn it. I feel like this is a map with a reroute. Too low. I really want to know if this is quicker. Sure, sure. Sometimes the compass needle just doesn't point towards straight and the needle is my dick. Oh. Sometimes life's easy, sometimes life's hard. Life is best when it's both easy and hard. Oh shit. Do you know what? In fact, I'm sure there's reroutes. Like GPS, use a GPS, you fool. Definitely an Australian. Who did the GPS anyway? Right, reroute 1? No? No. Reroute 2? Yes? No. Damn it. Reroute 3? Yes? No? No. Okay, I suspected a reroute here. No. He takes the upper finish. Maybe the upper finish is quicker. Also true. Ah, bollocks. Fuck the start. Still putting my money on reroutes. 10 seconds. Seems like an awful lot. Then again, I don't think this lap is actually done without a crash. Six seconds. There's definitely reroutes. For sure. Fuck off. Why? I don't understand why. God damn it. Well, what the fuck? Yeah, I have no idea where the routes are. This is not good. That was bad. Still not keeping full contact. Fuck. Wo ist mein Line? Okay, fuck this map. I actually don't want to compete, but I'm gonna. Fuming. piss on it. I don't know where any of the right lines are. Woohoo. Call my mother. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. Come on now. This still is nowhere near enough. I'm missing so much. Look, that sentence is only true in lovemaking. If I get fucked over by that end again, I might scream. Big F. Wow, that's a fucking emote. The biggest of F's, my friend. That's the worst I've done in a while. Yo. My little brother's on his motorbike and he missed his turn and he started panicking, poor bugger. That's fantastic. Oh, my brother's driving around on his motorbike. He was picking something up because he wanted to come back here later, and he missed his turning, and he ended up on a bit of more of a main road than he should be on. That called me up panicking. So I just explained to him what to do. He's alright. It's the first time he's missed his turning though. Missed his turn as in directions. As in he was driving on the road and he was meant to take a left, but he didn't see it in time, so he missed it. And where the road goes, the left turn comes towards where we are, the straight on takes you towards the motorway. And needless to say, he was a little bit panicked, but he's okay. A wild dingo. A dingo ate my baby. No crash, no crash. He's good, he's good. There's a cut. Oh, I called it, I knew there would be. Too late. Where's that boost that was round here? There. Okay. This does not help. Whatever. DNF that round. I can't wait to get out of this and see what the trick is. Yeah, he's alright, mate. Man, I'm not sure, right, on one of my email accounts, it's definitely an American group that spams shit to try and get you to give over passwords or whatever. And they're constantly being like, oh, you got a $50 Walmart gift card, that's great, Walmart don't exist in my country. Oh, your McAfee fucking antivirus is running. Right, it's always from spoofed addresses and all that shit, because I'll block them as I get them. But like, man, it's just how little research do you have to do? Well, actually, no, it's good. It's good in a way because it means there's not enough info out on that account to locate it. I've changed my mind completely on it being annoying. Almost kept traction the entire way, that's the first. That's wonk. That should be on target, yeah, just. Oh, what's the best we fuck up the finish? Yep. Like clockwork, baby. Oh no, I was just going to complain about on one of my personal email accounts I get emails from, it's a group that obviously spams emails to American citizens because they offer me like, you know, $50 off Walmart and shit like that. Nonsense. Anyway, the one I just received was, we're waiting to deliver cannabis gummies to you. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you are. And then I decided it's actually a good thing because They don't know where I am. Otherwise I wouldn't waste the effort. What? Nemesis Harry is in here? What is he doing here? How dare you? How very dare you? You fucking proper dogged me last time, Harry. I'm not a fan anymore. We were cool, bro. We were cool. He'll be legally required to deliver the cannabis. Yeah, and I'll be on the hook for importing a controlled substance. At least I'm sure that's what they'll tell the police anyway, or the police will tell me anyway. I remember the last time I got important stuff. What was that? Hey! You can't, well, you could OD on it, but you'd have to ingest way more than you could smoke in any sort of time frame. Customer from send gifted coffee to another UK streamer to write out what it's worth in the package. Felt kind of weird for a gift. Yeah, it's a tax rule about sending gifts and paying tax on important stuff. It's so fucking stupid. And as far as cannabis legalisation goes, it's gaining traction even in the EU. It's getting there. Too low. Bad. Oh dear. What the fuck am I doing? Lol. Not Harry's still behind me though. Oh no, he's overtaken me. Yeah, I'm out. I can't even catch Not Harry. Unless enough people fuck up the finish. They did. I'm in. I side with you, Callister. I don't think just because you accept it as normal is a good enough reason to keep any law or keep anything. All laws should have a 5-year time on them for review. At least that's my concept anyway. Airtime. I honestly have no idea how to cut the time down for this. I'm not good at full speed, yeah. Come on, let's do this. Bad. What the fuck? How do I do that? Am I not in last? I suck at this so bad. Did Prince Philip die? As far as I'm aware, I haven't heard he died. He could have done though. I can't really Google it. Don't think he died. I know he looks like shit. Death can only knock so many times before you have to answer. Looking at you, Lizzie. No, I'm joking. Lizzie will live forever. The Eternal Queen. And no, I do not mean Calista. But is that a PB? Yeah. He's on TV just now. Wikipedia says he's dead since April. There's no way. I've not had an alert come up on my phone or anything, and usually I get those alerts. Nah, come on. For real? He's dead? Fuck. Done it again. I'm out. Well, on that note, let's find out if Phil's dead. Yeah, it says he died in April. What? Didn't know he was dead. What? Not until Lizzie dies. When Lizzie dies, that's when shit will hit the fan. I tell you, the country will shut down for a couple of days, I guarantee it. Huh. Must have just gone under the radar with COVID. Crazy. What the fuck? I thought he was alive. Yo, what the fuck? Man, fair enough, fair enough. He was a man out of time, is the best way to describe him. It's not that I need him in it, it's just, yeah, you kind of grow up with these people constantly in your life and you see them here, there, and everywhere. And their kind of mortality doesn't really come across to you because they're always there, if you know what I mean. Yeah, crazy. But he was a man well out of time. Like, what he intended as good humoured jokes just were so out of time. Like 20 years before, they would have been perfectly normal. But he was old. He was old 30 years ago, you know. Like the amount of times you'd see Elizabeth telling him off, even in public events. She'd slap his hand or give him a fucking real dirty look. Because he was a man out of time. He was. I can't say he's a good man. Wow, my PB went so fast there. No way we catch him. Like, he went and met some Australian Aborigines at one point, and he asked them if they still threw spears at each other. Like, he was smiling, he meant that in good-natured terms, but you know, in his lifetime that was a thing. You understand where it comes from. It's just not a... Yeah, he was just a man out of time. basically keeping the slide on round every corner is the way this goes. Wow, and he goes super low for that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. Again, back to the point of him being old. He was 99 when he died. 30 years ago, 1991, he was still like 69, 70 years old. Oh man, it's people younger than myself and people with less awareness of how life comes at you are those who have a problem with it. Like, do you know what, right? So I'll put it this way, this is a piece of your history as well. I watched this video with this little old lady in Germany who, she was clearly like, what can you do that you won't do the same? You're already doing it. You are already keeping up with technology. You're already staying ahead because it becomes an ingrained thing to do, because it becomes part of your natural life to keep up with changes. You always keep up with changes. Now, 100 years ago, changes were very slow. 50 years ago, changes were still slow. It's only 20 years ago that changes became fast. It's a lot less of a worry for people who are aging now, because we're going to be aware of these things. But for those who came before us, it's a different kettle of fish. They will be. They absolutely will be. But humans adapt. Humans adapt constantly. And it's what we're good at. It's what makes us apex. Adaptation. The truth is, we will keep up until we can no longer keep up. But you've got to think, in the 40 years between you and what you're theorizing, you're going to amass so much knowledge that your forefathers of any generation before could not have amassed in 20 of their lifetimes. Think about it on the average day. How many different stories do you read? How much information do you actually take in? Even if you don't take it in fully, you're absorbing constant information. You're aware of events happening around the world that our grandfathers could not have imagined knowing. You're sat at home talking in real time to a dude, what am I, 1,000 odd miles away, so like 1,500, 1,600 kilometres, if not a bit more, away. I'm aware of your politics, you're aware of my politics. We're both aware of the events happening in Ukraine. We are incredibly ahead. Again, it's simply because you become conservative when your viewpoint is kept small. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have you met old hippies? There's still free love and care. There's still free love, harmony, love for everyone else, no more wars. You don't lose what you are. What builds you into a person during your teens, 20s, 30s sticks with you forever. You don't just suddenly turn 50 and go, get off my lawn, you damn kids. You'll see it. You'll watch it happen over the next 10 to 20 years, with politics, with everything. As the eldest generation dies off, who are the last of the hardcore conservatives, watch it all change. I promise you. The world is going to go through the most insane upheaval over the next 30 years. Life will never be the same again from now onwards. Like, I know that sounds like a hippy dippy, you know, oh, make the best of the time you got because it's never going to be the same. I don't mean like that. I mean literally, our lives will never be the same ever again. We do not have the, what would you call it? The benefits of our forefathers, where we knew we could raise our children to be what we were because we knew that that was safe and secure and they could do it. That no longer exists. There is nothing you can prepare your children for that will be there that was there when I was young, when you were young. Man, look at all the things that have disappeared, right? So, in my time, home phones don't really exist anymore. Everyone's on mobile. Tapes, CDs disappeared. MP3 players disappeared. CD Walkmans disappeared. Dial-up disappeared. Yellow Pages, literally a book of phone numbers, disappeared. They used to get delivered to nearly every household. Fucking hell. Mechanics in cars that have disappeared, like cars in the UK used to come with what was called a choke for the carburetor. That disappeared. There are 1,000,001 things that are just absolutely vanished, that I will never see again, that will never exist again, that will only be mentioned as jokes, like the save icon being a floppy disk. I promise you, there are people using that save icon that do not know what it is. I promise you. You want to talk computers? I remember when computers had only gigabytes of hard drives and it was only in the 10 to 20 region. I remember when an MP3 player would only fit 100 songs and it had a battery in the back. There's so many things that have disappeared and will continue to disappear. An 80 gigabyte hard disk drive, exactly. And now if someone said they had an 80 gig hard drive, you would assume they were talking about their phone. I actually found one of my old hard drives that was only 4 gigabytes. Imagine that. I remember when CPUs were measured in megahertz, not gigahertz. The elder generation didn't grow up with a fast changing world. Anyone between, I'd say probably 10 years older than myself and older, is going to struggle through the next 30 years. Luckily for me, I'm a techno lover. I don't have to worry about that because I'm involved. I love it. I'm with it every minute of every day. But there are people out there that are not prepared for this. They don't have the want or the will to keep up. And that's the biggest drain. You will not become more conservative as you age. You might have some jaded views on mankind. You might think that, you know, well, fuck, I did it, other people can do it. You might think like that, but you're also going to have that knowledge of every piece of information you've encountered between now and then. Because you are not just your own experiences. With the modern world, you are the experiences of everyone around you as well. Whether it's through YouTube, chatting shit to me, reading news stories, you are absorbing more information than any generation ever did in their lifetimes in a week. With ease. With ease. The amount of information we create on a daily basis as a species is insane. And we do it without even thinking about it. Like, consider what I'm doing here. I'm just talking shit to you, man, but I'm creating gigabytes and gigabytes upon gigabytes of information. Not only what I'm saying and what I'm doing, but the video game, the people who tune in, it's all information. It all consists of information of the human race, and we save this shit. Like, we really do. Humanity, by its very essence, is a fucking... Again, imagine being your grandpa for a minute. Just take a minute and imagine being him. Right. Fuck, I'm old. I feel that way sometimes too, but imagine being him truly. He spent a lifetime of quite probably struggles. Even with his interest in tech and all that, he probably did spend a lot of his time struggling just for the basics in life. Struggles that will never happen for anyone else. No word of a lie, he's probably tired. And one day you'll be tired too, but it's too late by that point. You still have those 40 years of information and knowledge that he could never have accessed. Even being interested in tech, man, like, my knowledge isn't perfect on everything. That's the scary part, imagining being that guy. Yeah. And do you know what's the scary part for someone else? Imagining being you. For what is a passion for you is an absolute fear-inducing coma to someone else. For example, my sister, she's a very lovely woman. She's very smart in her own way. With the English language, she can write a wonderful story. Mathematics, though, not at all. If she was to look at what you do, she would be lost. She'd probably have a panic attack at what you do. Each of us, in our own way, is scary to be to someone else. Like, being me would be scary to other people, because I literally, regardless of how you want to call investing, I gamble with my future on a daily basis. My entire existence is... I mean, hell, you could put it on a knife edge. If things really went shit to bust, I mean, they'd have to really go shit to bust. But I could be broke in a week. But again, that becomes a choice. I have seen the oldest woman in the world to get a PhD. I believe she was 96. It isn't a realization of being incapable. It's a realization of the time, work and effort it would take. And it's not being weak not doing so, because there are always other options. You might not choose to continue to pursue something you enjoy simply because you find joy in other areas. Your grandfather may find more joy in his family, may find more joy in trying to help people, trying to care for you, and trying to, I don't know, tell you a happy little story. There's 101 different things. Being, as you put it, incapable of doing something like that does not come at a detriment to yourself. It comes at a choice of what you would prefer to spend your time doing. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily need to be a detriment. It doesn't necessarily need to be a sad thing. Hello, Joseph. You've come at an interesting time. But yeah, it's not a negative. If I was to choose between doing what I do and, I don't know, let's say teaching my nieces and nephews, I would teach my nieces and nephews. I would give up the things that I enjoy to help them. I would happily surrender for it. Because to me, it's the best thing I could ever do. Man, that PB is so quick through there. May you come at interesting times. Yeah, true. The more interesting, the better. But yeah, there's just... We assume we are going to be our grandparents, our parents, when in reality there is no chance of that ever happening. Because not only are you a culmination of them, you're a culmination of everything you see, feel and experience in the time leading up to that point. Your decision to take this PhD doesn't just come at the experience of yourself, it comes at the experience of everyone around you, of everything you've read, of everything you've seen. It comes at the choice of, do I want X or Y? Do I want fucking happiness or struggle? There's 101 different things that apply to it. You will never be your grandparents, you will never be your parents, you will always be you. You will never end up as a conservative old man if you're not a conservative young man. Because that assumes that you have some sort of huge personality change based on what? What's going to change your mind to that degree? It's like me, man. I'm never going to stop looking at the stars and wondering and dreaming and thinking of the 101 ways mankind could reach them. I will never stop reading about astronomical reports. I will never stop reading about the strange physics that take place at the heart of a black hole or in the heart of a neutron star. Because I don't want to. I will never become a conservative old man because I'm not a conservative young one. I will never think taxes are too high because I have the information, I have the knowledge that things like trickle-down economics are a fucking joke. I will never sit here and say paying taxes is bad. I'm sorry, if I can pay for a child to go to school and get educated, as if that's a bad thing. Does this concern you that you could be that? Does it concern you that you'd lose touch? And if so, why? What does losing touch mean to you? Losing touch, to me, was when I lost touch with modern music. I have a selection of music that I like from the modern era, but I know way more old music now than I do new. By a long mile, I couldn't even tell you who's in the charts. To me, that was losing touch. How does he get through there so quick? Holy shit. I missed the checkpoint. Oh. But yeah, let's. Well, we'll check it. I mean, it's changing conversation, but I'll check. He goes way high on that. Also, did I mention I'm trash at full speed? He comes in low. Outside to low. To be honest, I'm only playing this as a background currently to give my mind time to function and think through what we're talking about. Because I'd rather be honest about it than just make a snap decision. Because truly, I had really considered I was out of touch when I lost touch with modern music. And even that phrase makes me sound old, man. And I appreciate that to the fullest extent. Because honestly, other than Ed Sheeran and Eminem, I think I've heard the name DaBaby, who I think is a terrible rapper, but who am I to judge modern day tastes? Do I know anyone else? Little Yachty? Was that one? Which, what a fucking name for a rapper. I'm a boat. Okay. But again, man, I've got no idea. None. Oh, come on, how? Whatever. Do you know what? I listen to the radio, but I listen to a radio called History, which is music from when I was younger. Because I listen to modern music, and half the time I'm going, what the fuck am I listening to? I have no idea how to do this. I cannot do full speed. I can't even keep up with my PB. But like, yeah. Man, being out of touch isn't necessarily a bad thing. Right, let's have a look, 'cause I think I did trash on one of these that I enjoyed. Yeah, this one. It's the whole concern of aging we all have deep down, really. We all worry that we change as we grow, and we do. But it isn't necessarily the bad thing we worry it is. I worried when I was younger that I'd become, quote unquote, the man, and I did. And it brought me no small measure of joy when I quit, to know that I was no longer the man. You do change. And as for becoming the man, I did it for money. And trust me, by doing so I realised money is not worth a fucking thing. Other than a means to survive, its value is very limited. I always go back to the quote my grandfather told me, which was, money doesn't buy happiness, but it's much more comfortable to cry in a Mercedes than it is on a push bike. He's right, but you know what's even more comfortable? To have someone to cry to. Do you mean there are more than two genders? Which may be. What do you mean aliens are as important as Earthlings? Okay, but would you separate the difference in intelligent species? Well, let's deal with your concerns one at a time. Would you beat a dog? If you wouldn't beat a dog now, you're not going to beat a dog later. If you view intelligence as an important thing and a reason not to attack something, you're not going to believe it later. You have to also remember the propaganda that worked on our forefathers will not work on us. Man, this track's a fucking bit of a bitch, isn't it? For keeping gear especially. But truly, if you... Yeah. If you could forgive your enemy now, you can forgive your enemy later. Whether that enemy happens to be from a different planet or not, it matters not. There's no way to foresee the future, no way to know which issues one could have, but one could be reasonably certain there will be issues. Absolutely, but let's... Oh, I can't even bother to play the game anymore. But let's deal with that as it is. Do you know what the biggest problem with alien life is? The first strike principle. Or, to put it in a simpler sense, it's two hunters in a forest. Right. So, let's pick some animals that this works well with. A tiger and a leopard. Both found in forests. Right? They stood on opposite sides of a clearing, looking at each other. They're not sure whether each one's going to attack or not. They have no way of knowing. Now that is the equivalent of mankind and aliens. No, but the ability to retaliate is not a... It's not a retaliatory question, it's the first strike question. Now, we have to assume that any aliens will have a similar background to us. they will know that the first strike principle, which, you know, the first one to attack wins, is going to pretty much be the standard throughout the universe. But we still have to stand in that clearing. We still have to be on opposite sides of that clearing looking at each other. Now, there's that period of time where we both stand there and choose whether or not we fire. Would you pull the trigger? You've been stood there a second, the other person has not pulled the trigger. Would you pull the trigger? Because you don't know if they're going to kill you. Exactly, no one can answer that. No one can. Because we're all going to hesitate. Because that hesitation is inbuilt. Civilization doesn't matter. Civilizations are unimportant. It's always going to be a single person. A civilization is not going to make contact all at once. It's going to be a person. It will always be a single person. However you wish to phrase it. Communications or whatever beforehand mean nothing. The initial confrontation is everything. Because if we don't pull that trigger and we wait, and they don't pull that trigger and they wait, and we both step into the clearing, anything can happen. Because you have to remember, no, you misunderstand the single person principle. It doesn't mean in person. Right, because consider this alien species, they're not all going to be able to decide at the same time what to do. Because the odds of them having a hive mind are pretty slim. Because as you can see on Earth, hive minds don't really exist. So as far as we're aware, hive mind is improbable. So the first contact can be whatever. But that first step into the clearing, the first time we look at each other and decide what to do, because we have that split second. Because that's all we have. Because if we're able to reach another planet, we're able to send something close to the speed of light. And that means we can decimate a planet in one strike. And the same for them. If they are able to travel, they are able to travel at a reasonable fraction of the speed of light. They are able to decimate a planet in an instant. But that's the exact point I'm getting at. There will be that moment when we're stood on both sides of the forest before walking into that clearing where we will look at each other. The decision of individual nations means nothing. And if you think nations are going to stay, you're nuts. If you think in 100 years there's going to be the United Kingdom, you're nuts. There might be a United Kingdom as a title for a location, but there will be not any form of government that runs over the United Kingdom as a singular entity. No, if two people meet, you don't know someone else's thoughts. You don't know their mindset, you don't know their mental state, you don't know their mental health. There are so many problems with that assumption. We will be looking into the eyes of a predator the same way we did throughout history. We looked at the man across the pond. We looked at the animal across the river, and we waited. You may know your thoughts, but you don't know theirs. And it's why I use the analogy of a tiger and a leopard. They are two distinct animals. Both apex predators. They are both ready to kill. But what do? Do they hesitate, or do they fire first? And they will be going through the exact same conversation I'm having with you, only in their own scale. The moment they realise we're here and we realise they're there, that's it. This will happen. That moment in the clearing, it will be an individual person, and it will be an individual alien. Because there's no way we're sending our leaders to cooperate instantly. There is no way we're doing that. We will be stood at opposite sides of the forest, waiting. Because the choice is, either we strike first or they do. They know this, we know this. It's just who hesitates. As long as someone hesitates, there's hope. If there is no hesitation, we're doomed. And it makes no difference. As dark as that is, it's true. But we have to choose, just like they do. We're stood at opposite sides of that forest. We're staring each other in the eyes. We don't know if they're going to kill us. They don't know if we're going to kill them. My bets is on hesitation, because you don't become the master of your environment without curiosity. And curiosity is a hell of a thing. Yes, okay, but again, that's not going to happen, is it? There is no way we would send an armed group to meet potential allies, and vice versa. They would not send an armed group to meet a potential ally. If they send an armed group, we know what to expect. It's just, yeah. There will never be two groups that meet like that. There will only ever be two hunters in a clearing. Again, okay, so we know they exist, they know we exist. Just now, right? Like, stop time for a second. I'm the humans, or you're the humans, and you're the aliens, or I'm the aliens, or whatever. Just take a side for a second. I see you, you see me. Do you hesitate or fire? Do you hit the red button without thinking? Or do you hesitate to think? Yeah, but it's not that bad. For you to be an intelligent species with the capability of space travel, the only reason for you to travel into space is for A, resources, and B, curiosity. If it's resource based, you're not going to leave your solar system for a long time. If it's curiosity, you're going to reach out, and you're going to reach far. Now, if you're curious, you're going to hesitate, because there's going to be that flicker of what if, or to put it another way, maybe. Now, if you send weapons of mass destruction, that's it. It's game over for both of us. Because once the moment you hit send, we're going to know about it. And do you think humanity or your alien race as a whole is not going to fire back? It's not a dilemma. It's knowledge. It's knowledge that you either destroy both of us. Because even if they're not aware, like let's say they're not aware of our capabilities, we're not aware of their capabilities, you have to make the assumption that they're armed to the teeth and so are we. Because if you don't, you're a fool. So any opening move of violence is off the table. Speaking of, I do need to take a little break. As much as I fucking love this conversation, and trust me, I really do. I need to A, eat, and B, go to the bathroom. Oh, if you've got stuff to do, my friend, honest to God, it's a fantastic conversation. Like, absolutely incredible. And I've thought about it often. Because it's going to be such a critical juncture should that point come in my lifetime. It'd be incredible, but even in future lifetimes. And all because of Flip being dead, exactly. It started off with that and it got to here. Right, anyway, yeah, I need to go on break. In April, no less, yeah. Swept under the rug. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. I will do, you too, buddy. And, do you know what, fuck it, we'll just end the stream here and I'll come back on later. Alright.